Well, hello, boys and girls. How are you today? I hope that you're having a great day. I am, of course. I think I very seldom have a bad day. I am a little tired today, but having a great day. Anyways, here we are to do science. I am Mr. Brisson, and we are going to continue with energy. When I talked to my students today, and I did the first lesson about energy, they're like, oh, we remember energy, yes, the sun and photosynthesis, and we remember clean energy, and we remember renewable resources. So they remember a bunch of things about energy, but I told them, hey, this is a complete different aspect of energy, okay? So today we are going to concentrate on the relationship between potential and kinetic energy, and we want to be able to give examples. So let's look at the learning target so that we know exactly what it is that we're going to explore today, okay? So our learning target is, I can explain the relationship between potential and kinetic energy, and I can find examples for each, okay? So you need to be able to explain it, but also find examples for each type of energy, all right? So I want to go back to the way that we finished our lesson, our last lesson, okay? And we said stored energy is the same as potential energy. So here is a warehouse, okay? We store things in that warehouse. Those things are just there. They're not going anywhere. Eventually, they will go somewhere. They'll go to a supermarket, or they will go to a house. They will go to a place where those things are going to be sold or used. But right now, those, I think they're tiles or shingles, whatever, they are in that warehouse stored. They are stored there, okay? So let's now move to stored energy. So not talking about packages, but talking about energy. If the energy is stored, okay, in physics we say that that energy is potential energy. It has the potential to do something else. It has the potential to move something. It has the potential to be released. But while it is just there, sitting there, that's just potential energy. So I want to show you a short video, and I want you to tell me if that video is potential energy. Well, not the video. If whatever is being shown in the video is potential energy. Oh, is that exciting time where we're going up, 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 up. Oh, it's that feeling in the stomach when we're going down. And this is okay. And we know that there's going to be another drop coming soon. Let's see. I love roller coasters. Oh, this is a big one. So what do you think? You saw that roller coaster, and you know that potential energy is energy that is waiting to be released. What do you think? Is that potential energy? If you say yes, explain why yes. If you say no, explain why not. So take a moment now to write down and say, yes, that energy is potential energy because. Or if you disagree, you say that energy is not potential energy because. Okay? Time to write. All right, so I'd like to hear from some of you. I'm sure your teacher also. So what do you think? That energy in the roller coaster, potential or not potential, and explain why. So time to share. So you think I'm going to tell you if it's potential or not? We're going to continue exploring, and by the end, you should be able to explain, you should be able to totally know for sure if that energy is potential or not. Okay, before we go on, I want to make sure that you have a good definition for potential energy, okay? So please write this in your notebooks. So potential energy is the amount of energy a thing, okay, or an object has because of where it is, okay? Because of its position. So potential energy is the amount of energy a thing, an object has because of where it is, okay? Which means that it's because of its position. That is potential energy. It's related to the position of the object. It's related to where the place where the object is. So would that water falling be potential energy? It's moving, so it cannot be potential energy. But when the water is right here, right there, ready to fall down before it started falling, that would be potential energy. It has a potential to fall, but at this moment it's right there. That would be potential energy. What do you think? That little car on top of the hill, would that be potential energy? Yes, it is potential energy because it is right there waiting. That it has a potential to roll down the hill. It has to do with its position. How about this guy holding the ball? Is the ball moving? No. So that would be what? That would be potential energy. The ball has the potential to move, but right now it's not moving. So it is due to the position of the ball that we call it potential. Now I want you to come up with your own examples. See if you can come up with 3 examples, okay? 3 examples of potential energy. Based on what you know about potential energy, come up with 3 examples. You can either write them down or you can draw them. So come up with 3 examples, okay? And now let's share them. So we should have a bunch of examples now, or maybe some of you came up with the same examples. So what do you come up with? So it could be a ball before it is thrown, okay? When the bow is stretched, that could be an example. It could be a ball on top of a hill. It could be a bicycle on top of a hill. It could be a hammer that is in the air getting ready to be moved. Remember the little car on top of the hill? That could be also it. So we know what potential energy is, and we provided some examples, but the learning target had something else. Let's look at it one more time. Oh, so I can explain the relationship between potential and kinetic energy, and I can find examples for each. So you got the potential part down, but how about kinetic? Any ideas? Well, let's look at this definition. It says kinetic energy is the energy an object has due to its motion. Due to its motion. Motion meaning movement. So kinetic energy is the energy an object has due to its motion. Okay, so kinetic has to do with movement, motion. Potential had to do with the position where the object was. So where the object was at rest, but he had the potential, he had the ability to move, right? So kinetic energy now is energy that is moving. So it went from being just there to moving. Do you write the definition down? Make sure that you write it down. Let me read it one more time. So kinetic energy is the energy an object has due to its motion, due to its movement. Well, let's look at some examples now. The same bicycle now coming down the mountain, that would be kinetic energy. So over here, it was potential because it was the position of the bike at rest. Moving over here is kinetic, it's moving. The bowling ball, when somebody was holding it, that was potential, but when it was moving, that is kinetic. Now it is your turn to come up with some examples for kinetic energy. Come up with at least 3, okay? You can either write them or draw them. So remember, kinetic energy, energy that is in movement. The object is moving, okay? And now can you share some of those? Let's share with the whole class. What examples do you write? So you could have an arrow moving or a ball coming down the mountain. You could have a spring shooting something up, or a rubber band that you pull, and over here would be potential, but when you let it go with something, it would be kinetic. Or it could be, what else do you write? It could be a pencil at the edge of the desk. Right there, it was potential and then it fell, and that was kinetic. I don't know what you wrote, but I'm sure you have plenty of things. So we want to be able to explain the relationship. How is potential and kinetic energy related? How are they related? How are they related? And I want you to do that. So now that you know, okay, what potential energy is and what kinetic energy is, how are they related? What is the relationship between the two? I would like you to write that down in your notebooks. So take some time to write. Let me show you again one more time what you're supposed to write. Explain the relationship between potential and kinetic energy. Take about 5-6 minutes to do that, okay? And so now let's share. What is the relationship between potential and kinetic energy? Time to share. You might have written something like this. Potential energy is when an object is at rest but has the potential to move. For example, a ball on top of a hill. Kinetic energy is when the object begins to move. For example, the ball rolling down the hill. All right, so there you have it. Potential and kinetic energy. Potential and kinetic energy. Potential energy is related to the position of the object. Kinetic energy is related to the movement of the object. Now let's go back to the roller coaster. Was the roller coaster kinetic or potential? What do you think? Kinetic or potential? Okay, this is your time to explain. Talk to somebody and tell them the roller coaster, kinetic or potential. If you said both, you are absolutely correct. That's right, both. The roller coaster is both. When the roller coaster is at the top of the hill, getting ready to come down, it does potential energy. And when it's rolling down super fast and whoa, that is kinetic energy. All right. Well, we're going to continue next time because there is a lot more that we need to find out about potential and kinetic energy. But we are finished with today's lesson. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Remember, science is everywhere. Bye-bye.